Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. Wanted to do a video on the Fury Wilder fight while I'm able to read comments because it's not something I was able to do on my previous videos. Okay. For those listening on archive, leave a comment and tell me what you think. All right. Let's see here. All right. Getting some stuff up here. All right. Also, make sure you hit that notification button. That way you're notified every time D-Style comes on live. Okay. Let me first say, the good thing about this fight is that people give a shit about the heavyweight division. Okay, that's the great thing about this fight, right? People give a damn, right? People are engaged. People are debating. People are, whatever the case is. And while, yes, you have people out there saying, oh, this fight made boxing look bad, all the decisions and this, that, and the third, which we're going to get to all that. But overall, it did more good for boxing than bad, right? Now, it's a heavyweight fight, so I think people have stayed away from watching heavyweight boxing for a while. So, that, you can't expect these guys to move around like welterweights or middleweights or something like that. But I will say that it was exciting to watch. It was a good fight. It was a good heavyweight fight. And the thing to remember about the heavyweight division is there is no division that hits harder, man. There's no division that is more devastating when punches land, right? So that's what makes the whole thing incredible. Let's see here. So trying to get this up here. I actually got something stuck in my throat. I was eating some pistachios here, and I got something stuck in my throat right when I clicked on freaking go live. Isn't that something? All right. I imagine I would have been choking and I would have died live on the air. But anyway. But overall for boxing, this was a good night for boxing. It was. And it was good for the heavyweight division. I hope the numbers did well. I don't think they did, but I hope they did well. Well, I guess it depends what we define well, However you define well, it just depends. It's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But I personally, I enjoyed the fight. I mean, I'll just say that. And I think overall it was good for boxing, right? So I just wanted a unifying message with that. But it kind of ends there. Obviously, the crazy thing is that Luis Ortiz is still out there, and who he's going to fight next. I mean, damn. I mean, we still got a fight we can make with him. There's Wilder, of course, Fury, of course, and then we'll see about Joshua. And Joshua wants to, hide over there in England, right? In Wembley Stadium. He has no interest in fighting anybody, really. When he fought Povetkin, and the dude wants all the glory in the world, okay? So that's that, right? But if Joshua doesn't step up to fight any of these two guys, I don't know what to tell you, right? There's really no excuse not to fight Fury. Fury is from the UK. Like, if he can't even fight Fury, I don't know what to say, right? Fury fought Wilder in Los Angeles. Joshua wouldn't even fight Wilder with a $50 million guarantee. I mean, that is insane, right? Now, let's dive into some of the stuff that I talked about in my videos here while I was driving, of course, right? By the way, those tuning in, take a moment, thumbs up the video. I am reading the comments this time, okay? And I see the jazz musician Three best heavyweights in the world fought Saturday in Los Angeles. Look at that. I don't know. I mean, unless Joshua wants to step up and fight one of those three, I don't know what to say. Right? But I will say this, okay? In all seriousness, there's a lot of great fights we can make in the heavyweight division. Right? We'll talk about the heavyweight division a little bit. Let me talk about the fight. All right? First of all, I made a prediction on the fight, okay? And my prediction was wrong, right? I was wrong. And I was wrong in two ways. One, I honestly thought as soon as Wilder connected and dropped Fury, it was going to be a wrap. I was wrong about that, okay? He dropped him. Fury got back up, and he looked all right. I was also wrong, obviously, about, Wilder winning by mid-round stoppage. All right. So I was wrong about that. So I was wrong on several fronts here. All right. So, and look, hindsight's 2020. And when I look back, it like even my prediction for that fight was lazy. It was. And I just assumed, Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Let me know if you guys can hear me, by the way. All right, let me know. Got another comment here by Damon Hendricks. Or Hendricks, I'm sorry. It was a great fight, but I think Wilder won that fight. It was a 16-second count that should have been called a knockout. We'll talk about that in a little bit, all right? We'll get to that. I have a strong opinion about that, too. Now, what I want to make sure is that we talk about the fight in its totality first. All right, well, we're going to talk about the knockdown, the second knockdown, but the fight in its totality. And I think it's important to kind of go over it here. Okay, so first of all, look, if you score round by round with a 10-point must system and you're objective and, first of all, I have no idea how one of those judges gave Wilder 7 rounds. I have no idea, right? I've watched the fight several times, and I got to be honest with you guys, I don't know how that happened, right? Like, I think that's crazy to me, right? And that's how you have that white scorecard for Wilder. That's number one, right? To me, that's a really bad scorecard. Like, it really is, right? And I think from what I heard, that judge gave Wilder, like, I don't know, it's just something people are just saying, or they mean a majority of, but really all 6 rounds, the first 6 rounds, all of them, that's crazy, right? That's crazy, right? Like, it's, I don't know if that's true, but that's insane. I haven't looked at the scorecards line by line, but I feel like that's pointless at this point. Like, what happened. But that scorecard, to me, this is just my opinion, it's up there with some of the worst scorecards I've ever seen. It's probably not as bad as like the CJ Ross with Canelo Floyd. It's probably not that bad, right? But it's flirting towards that direction. That's a terrible score to have for that fight. Second, I've already stated this on numerous occasions. If you want to give Wilder the draw, I could see that, okay? But that's you wanting to give him the draw, all right? I have a hard time giving him the draw. Like, I see how it's mathematically possible, and the 2 knockdowns help a little bit, and if you give Wilder, if you could find 5 rounds to give him, right? He already has a 2 with the knockdowns, and we could even talk about those 2 even, right? But like the first knockdown, to me, Fury was controlling aside from the knockdown, was controlling that fight. You could score that 10-9 instead of 10-8. You know, now I didn't, but then it becomes a game of if you really want to. Well, if you really want to, you can do that, right? If you really want to, you can have Fury winning, 9 rounds in this fight. Like if you really want to. So I don't want to play the game if you really want to, right? But I get it, right? I see that it's mathematically possible. I completely understand all that, but I have a hard time doing it, right? I can't. I just can't give it to Wilder. Like, no matter how much, it's that's me. That's my opinion. Those are my eyes, my opinion. Okay, and that's that. All right. I'm not gonna bust out with some slow motion video and all that. In real time, I see that Fury was winning that fight. Okay. Now, I've also said, right, the 12th round. Couple of things. I see some people arguing that the ref should have stopped it, like because he looked out. In other fights they looked out and they stopped it. Like, well, obviously, if you say that, like, how can you say that with 2020 having the benefit of 2020 vision? Like, if you saw that he got up, okay, then obviously the right call was made not to stop the fight as soon as he saw Fury on the mat. Okay, but anyway, Fury got up. Now, what's important to note is that Fury made it to his feet before the 10 count. Okay, that is important to note. Now, some people have been telling me, Batista, refs always do the come to me and walk forward and making sure that your legs are under you, and they rub your your gloves on their suit or whatever, and there's many reasons for that. They're trying to check the balance. They also rub off any dirt or whatever, so you don't scrape your opponent's face with that. Okay, on his shirt. There's several reasons they do that. I get that, but in this fight, and maybe you have to watch that specific sequence again, over and over again. It just felt long. I can't sit here and act like it wasn't. Like it just like I understand. Okay, that they always do that. They always it just felt long. All right, that's all I could tell you. It's like it felt like we're talking about seconds here, but it felt like 2-3 seconds too long. Right? Okay, look, I don't agree with people saying, he had everyone who beats the 10 count. If you want to be that picky, okay, you can count from when they were knocked down until the ref says go. All of them go over 10 seconds. Okay, but the point is, all right, I haven't even gone back when Kovalev knocked down Ward. Right, Ward got up and the ref did the same thing. Are you all right? You want to continue? So I haven't gone back and checked those seconds, but I can bet you it went over 10 seconds. All right. My thing is that in this specific fight, all right, it just felt a little like the ref was trying to make sure Fury got his legs under him a little more. That's just the feeling when I watch it. That's just the feeling I get. And if you're the ref, if you check, the whole point of checking if they're all right isn't to double check and triple check. That's not the point. The point is he ready to go or not? If he's not ready to go, you wave it off. If you think he's ready to go, then let him go. All right? See, and in this specific sequence, I don't know, man, the whole go to the corner thing, I just didn't like that. And I know people are like, oh, well, he always does that. Like, then they need to stop that. All right? Like, I don't study refs like that, but if this specific ref, I forgot his name, but always does that, if that's true, then he's not doing it right. He's doing a disservice to the guy that got the knockdown, right? So forgive me for being all over the place here, okay? It just felt a little too long, okay? I know that refs check if guys have their balance, and I'm all right with the fact that you count to 10. All right, are you ready to go? Let's go. Right? But in this specific case, it just felt a little too long. Okay. I'm not saying that the ref did it on purpose. I'm not saying that there's an agenda here. Okay. All I'm saying is that I saw what I saw and I didn't like what I saw. All right. That's all I'll say about that. Second. Okay. So maybe calling it a quote unquote long count isn't the right thing to say. Maybe that's the right wording. Right. But there was just too much time given after the count, right? I mean, holy shit! What's next? Are refs going to start calling time after they get up? 1, 2, and then when you get to 9, 9, 10. All right, time. All right, come here. Are you all right? Are you ready? All right. Are you okay? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Or walk it off. Walk it off. All right. All right. All right, time box. Like that's is that the next thing they're gonna do now or what? No, right? That sounds ridiculous, right? Of course it does. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but it was kind of flirting with that a little bit, just a little bit. All right. Now, with that said, what happened. But I got to tell you, when that bell rang, like, I can't be the only one that knew. Like, I can't. I refuse to believe that I was watching that 12th round, right? That I was watching the 12th round. I refuse to believe that I was the only one thinking, man, either Wilder's probably gonna either if Fury goes a distance, if he could survive this 12th round, he wins. Sorry about that. I can't be the only one that thought that. Like, I know you guys were thinking that. I know you were. When you were watching the fight live, all right, you wanted Wilder to get the knockout. Like, I can't be the only one that saw that fight and said, this dude needs a knockout to win. I can't be. I know I'm not. Like, I know I'm not, right? Let's read some of his comments here. Let's see. Salute, bro. I think it deserves a draw and a rematch to see who's clearly number one. But it's crazy nobody is talking about the long count, and that's the referee. I just talked about it. Prodigy in the house saying, what's good, style? What's up? Hennick says he was knocked out in the second knockdown. The refs saved them. I'm sorry, I believe Wilder won that fight. Well, it wasn't knocked out because he got up before the count of 10, right? Even if you feel it should have been a TKO, right? That's a different discussion. I know I'm playing semantics here, right? But he didn't knock him out. He wasn't out cold because he got up. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying you're saying this, but there's people saying that they've seen refs just stop the fight. They don't even count. They just stop it when the guy looks out. Okay, and I agree that, look, I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that thought this fight's over when in those first 3 seconds of that count, right? This dude looked out. And I'm also not the only one that was shocked when he got the fuck up, all right? 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Man, I'm fucking coughing and fucking sneezing and shit. What the fuck's going on, man? I better not be getting sick, man. All right? All right. Anyway. I'm getting sick of boxing and I'm fucking getting sick. Like, what's going on? All right? Prodigy says, we can't debate who won till we're blue in the face. A draw's a draw. Can't wait for the rematch. Yeah, that's true. Hapleside says, what's up? Prodigy had to stop to watch count at the count. It was just 10 seconds. Well, here's the thing. So, and I already talked about this, but yes, you're talking about the count. That's not what I'm talking about, right? After a fighter beats the count, this always happens. Okay, the refs always do this universally. Okay, they check that. Are you all right? They may ask the fighter, "What's your last name?" They may look. They're going to look at their eyes. Do their eyes look glassy? Okay, they're going to grab their gloves. Okay, kind of move their from the rest of the shit, move them around, make sure that they got their feet under them. It's just that in this case, he went about a couple more seconds longer than refs usually do. That's just, all right, I'm just being honest. All right. So it's not like the ref was like 1 and it's just like 2 and he was like, remember back in the day when the NWO, when they would do the 3 count and the ref would take forever to do the 3? It's not like he was like 8 and a half. Like, no, like yes, Tyson Fury got up before the 10 count. I just think the ref should have checked if he was all right and then just let it go. I mean, I'm just saying that's what should have happened. All right. Like, I'm not here saying it was a travesty, or I'm just saying, I'm just complaining as a boxing fan that it was a little long. The process was long. All right. All right. Jack Race always does that, to be fair. Watch him on Contender. Well, then he's wrong for doing that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. 7 rounds to Fury, 2 knockdowns by Wilder. Rematch. Got it. All right, Happy Time. I didn't see the count as long. I've timed it. What Reese did after the count could be considered excessive. All right. But he always does that. They both agreed to the ref. I get that. I get that. Although that's a good point, though. I actually haven't heard anybody make that point. The 2 fighters have to agree to the ref. Okay. That's a good point. I actually just thought about that. Or you just kind of made me think about that. That's true, right? But it doesn't mean I can't be annoyed about it, though. Okay, the ref gave him all the time in the world to get his bearings together. Every second counts in those instances. That's why I have an issue with it. Happy Time. I thought Fury was done, and all he had to look forward to when he got up was the best finisher in boxing. Yeah. Prodigy says Fury was flat out. He got up because he had heart. This fight is amazing. There was a lot of dumbass boxing fans and official people out there talking straight out of the asses. Yeah. See here. I've been eating crow about the fight, man. I'll have my crow medium rare. All right. Prodigy says Fury is flat. All right, got it. Apple type. I was impressed. He got up, knowing he was what was coming. If what happened Saturday was too much, then it was too much for Maldrick too. Fury did what he had to do. You know what? Fury actually went at Wilder. If you guys saw that, he went at him, right? As soon as the fight happened. So there you go. All right. If happened Saturday was too much. All right. Prodigy says, yeah. He also says the fight was even further proved that AJ ain't shit. Oh my God. No way Fury won 10 rounds. Not 10, but yeah, I'll give him 8. I'll give Fury 8 rounds. Okay, people will take Floyd's opinions as facts are retards. I don't know what did Floyd say. I don't know what Floyd said. All right, Floyd's an opportunist. He'll say whatever, but whatever, Now, what I'm surprised about is people that don't like. Look, I'm not saying people don't know how to score boxing. Okay, yes, all right. Everyone knows that there's a 10-point must system, all that. However, for those that don't know, it's crazy, right? But there's 12 rounds in a fight, right? With no knockdowns. We all know, right? If you win 7 rounds, you win the fight. Everybody knows that. It's something everybody knows. 115, 113, right? Everybody knows that. Now, even with 7 rounds, You still win if you get knocked down one time, right? It's crazy to think that, but instead of winning by 2 points, you win by 1 point, right? Like, just think. I just want you to think about that for a moment. In the course of a 12-round fight, one knockdown, in actuality, right? As long as that's the only knockdown that happened in the fight, really plays no role in dictating who the winner of the majority of the rounds is, right? Like, whoever wins the majority of the rounds still wins, even if you get a knockdown, right? And this is something I tried to explain to Kovalev fans. Look, and I don't want to spark another debate here, okay? But Kovalev and Ward had a fight, right? And you had, before this was told to them, they were saying things like, you know, Ward had to win 8 rounds to win. There's no way, right? Well, he didn't have to win 8 rounds. He had to win 7. He would have won by 1 point instead of 2, right? But he had to win 7. So now let's come back to this fight. Do you guys know that in all reality, if Fury wins 8 rounds, even with the 2 knockdowns that Wilder got, it's a draw, right? That's what it is. So if Wilder won 5 rounds and Fury won 7, it's a draw, right? Now, for some reason, people are thinking in their heads like, no, but if he gets 2 knockdowns, you know, it's like if Wilder won 7 rounds. No. Like, what are you guys talking about, right? So I understand that mathematically you could kind of work this out. If you could find 5 rounds, if you really want to give them like all close rounds, go to Wilder no matter what, and right. What I will tell you, right? And by the way, anybody quoting fucking CompuBox, right? Okay, spare me, all right? Now, we all been here talking shit about CompuBox for years, right? You do know it's about a bunch of old fuckers with a clicker in their hand, right? Who count punches even when dudes roll the punch, or even when dudes miss the punch. So I'm not going to go by CompuBox here, okay? What I will tell you is that I had Fury winning 8 rounds, all right? I had him winning 8. I watched it round by round. I had him winning 8 rounds. So for everyone who came at me and said, "Well, but there's no way. If that's the case, then it's a draw." Like then you guys like you're not like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Okay? Right? Okay. It's not like you subtract 2 rounds for Fury and add 2 for Wilder because he got 2 knockdowns. That's not the way it works. Right? So yes, for everyone who's trying to tell me I have my math wrong, and I have people questioning my math, and Dustav, you had him winning 8 rounds, your math is wrong. Okay, that means you have it a draw. Like, no, I don't. Okay. Anyway, I had Fury winning by 2 points still, regardless. Right? Like, that's what I saw. And for anyone who tells me other things like, well, Wilder knocked him down, and look, if you're saying that since Wilder got the knockdowns that he should win, right? Then you're basically in essence saying that Kovalev should have beat Ward because he got the knockdown, right? If by definition you win the fight because you knocked the opponent down, right? Then you're going to create a very crazy Pandora's box for yourself. And when one of your fighters gets knocked down, you're going to have a very difficult time explaining why your fighter won, right? So it's, I don't go by that. I don't make up rules. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to make up rules like if you get knocked down twice and it's a wrap, and or you know what I mean? Like it's just like I heard somebody say like back in the day, 3 knockdowns meant it was over. So like first of all, I think it was 3 knockdowns in the same round, by the way. Okay, but either way, what does that even mean? Like it's first of all, there wasn't even 3 knockdowns, right? So I'm just saying, right? I don't have rules at all. If it's twice, then you got to give him 2 rounds. And no, I score the fight from what I see, right? And by the way, it works both ways. So if you try hard to give Wilder every round you possibly can, if I wanted to, I know somebody put there's no way Fury did 10. If I really wanted to, I could do it. Like I could come out with 7 to 10 rounds and give you a reason why I think Fury wanted if I really wanted to, right? But that's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be as objective as I can, right? That's what I do with every fight. All right? I see people coming out saying, I had Fury winning, and then everybody's trying to convince them that, no, you're wrong. Like, when somebody who independently watches the fight on their own and comes on YouTube and tells you, hey, I had Fury winning, you can't like jump on them. Come on now. All right? It's let people have their opinion. Whoever thinks Wilder won, that's their opinion. Right? Let them have that opinion. I just disagree with that opinion. Right? It's as simple as that. But when you have to try hard to convince people that, when you got to go video, and like a lot of you in the comments, like go video after video, trying to convince people that they're wrong. No, Wilder won, and then you're just trying too hard. Right? You're trying too hard. It's okay to tell me who you think won, but when you're trying to convince me otherwise, when I've seen the fight, when I've told you I've seen the fight, right? Now, I also said that I'm not outraged, okay, about the decision. All right. Number one, because I would love to see a rematch. That's number one, right? But number two, and by the way, Fury came to America. He fought in the U.S., right? If the numbers are good on the pay-per-view and all that, then I say they should do it in the U.S., right? But if the numbers weren't that good, then you got to go to the U.K., right? It's only fair, right? He fought you here. You could fight him in the UK, right? I know I've talked a lot of shit about Wembley and stadiums and England. Like, I know I talk a lot of shit, right? I know. Okay, like I get that, but it's fair to do the rematch in England, right? It's only fair. I'm just saying, right? I'll talk about what I think would happen in the rematch if and when that's signed. Okay. I'll talk about that when that day comes. We'll talk about that. All right. We will talk about that. Let me see here. Let me see what's out. What else is in the comments here? All right. How behind am I? Hold on. You could have given 4 to either Wilder or Fury. I give it to Wilder. 7 rounds to Fury. All right. That's fair. But Prodigy, you don't feel like you're stretching a little bit? I don't know. David Finazzo, it was a really good fight in my opinion. I like both fighters. I'm excited to watch the rematch. Also, where is AJ at? That man AJ, bro. Let me tell you. AJ saw that fight, bro, and he saw 2 dangerous fighters, man. One, Fury can embarrass AJ. All right. That's number one. Like, man, do I really want to go through that fight and he could embarrass me and make me look stupid and whatever, right? And the other guy, I mean, whoever doesn't feel that Wilder's power is real by now, I don't know what to tell you, right? This dude has fight-changing power. Like, that's what this guy has. And to be honest with you, if those 2 knockdowns don't happen, if those dramatic moments don't happen, it would have been a dual-ass fight, right? It would have been a dual fight. A lot of people would be complaining, oh, I've spent my money on this pay-per-view, man. Fucking Tyson Fury's fucking boring, bro. Like, I'm just saying. So that's that. And by the way, I disagree. Like, even the judge that had Wilder winning, I actually believe this. If the knockdowns didn't happen, there's people assuming, right? Oh, that judge would have still had Wilder winning. Actually, it's far more likely he would have had it either a draw, right, or Fury 7 rounds to 5, right? Because the first knockdown, I have to be honest with you guys, even in that round, Fury was winning that round. I scored a 10-8, but somebody could score 10-9 very easily, right? If the knockdown doesn't happen, I don't even think that judge would have given Wilder that round. And that would have made it a draw. And before the knockdown happened in the 12th, it was kind of close, that 12th round. I did give Wilder, I do believe that's definitely a 10-8 round, right? But if the knockdown doesn't happen, does Wilder win that round? It would have been a unanimous decision, okay? Or a majority decision for Fury, even if those 2 knockdowns don't happen, right? Even the judge that had it wide, okay, for Wilder, when you look at his scorecard, right, or his not the actual scorecard itself, but the margin which he scored it at, right? I'm just saying, okay? Let's see here. What else we got? Who else is talking? Compy crap, I agree. People, all of a sudden, everybody wants to quote CompuBox. Oh, CompuBox numbers say this. First of all, CompuBox doesn't mean like it's. You don't score boxing that way, guys. You don't look at the totality of the punch numbers and just, even if they were accurate, you don't do that. Second, they're not accurate. They're not. Some of those rounds, I was scratching my head wondering, well, like, Wilder didn't land all that. I went back and watched the round again. All right? Because we all know that when he did land flush, he knocked his ass down, bro. You expect me to believe Wilder was landing flush from rounds 1 all the way to the fucking first round happened? No. All right? Let's see here. And also, for the people saying, oh, all he was doing was trying to slip punches, and you guys do know defense is a category in scoring boxing, right? Like, I hope you guys understand this, right? Slipping and dodging punches actually counts, right? All right. Why do people get mad, Red Milton? I don't know. I don't know why people get mad. You could have given round 4 to either Wilder or Fury. That was a good round. I give it a Wilder. That's what you meant. I thought you meant 4 rounds. My bad. It was a really good fight in my opinion. I like both fighters. So I'm excited to watch the rematch. Also, where's AJ at? I read all that in the beginning of every fight. We hear no knockdown rule pretty consistently. Yeah. No 3 knockdown rule. Gotcha. No, not in here yet. It's but it is happening on YouTube. All right. I watched the fight in the sports bar, then went home and watched the fight twice and ending 100 times. The fight was definitely a draw. And Prodigy is sticking to the draw narrative. I got it. All right. Prodigy, AJ 10 is a little room, sucking Eddie Hearns. Jesus Christ. Apple type, not mad at all. Not mad at the draw. But as soon as the fight ended, I told my dad it could have been a draw. He had it a draw, had Fury at 4. Bam Bam boxing. No one thought the first knockdown was a punch to the back of the head. I mean, it was kind of in the back of the ear. It wasn't a rabbit punch, you know. Like it was a legitimate knockdown, right? When you duck too low, rabbit punches are your fault. If you're standing straight and the guy hits you on the back of the head, it's like Coney. That's a foul. All right. Dana White used to say, "Never let a fight go to decision." He's right. Yeah. Regular Middleton, slipping and dodging punches is how Floyd Mayweather Jr. won a big portion of his fight, especially when he changes from Pretty Boy to Money May. Yeah, but he was also the only one landing some of the time, you know. Then Jen, don't respect defense. Look how pussified basketball has gotten, and they say it's great. Man, we're throwing shots at basketball. Like basketball is taking shots. Like, man, I'm an Owlie Wepner. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, We all know a rabbit punch when we see it. Like, like, do we have to explain this? You know what I mean? While he threw that shot, Fury's head was turning, right? He turned the wrong way and he got hurt, man. I mean, he got hit. You can hit a guy, it's like the back of the ear area, you can hit a guy there, right? Like, there's like for it to be a rabbit punch, it has to be a blatant shot to the back of the head. Like, you're aiming for the back of the head, and you know what I mean. Like, when like, it's just different. Like, I don't. I'm just saying, because if sometimes guys, like, they use like their shoulders like to block and stuff like that, which Fury does a lot, right? And and they kind of they turn in a way where everything's exposed, like their kidneys exposed and their back of their heads exposed. If you turn that way, that's your fault. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying. Like, I never like do. It's kind of like if you turn your back on an opponent. I know it wasn't like this blatant, but and then they punch you in the kidney. Well, that's your fault because you gave your back to your opponent, right? I mean, that's just how I feel about that. You know, if your whole, like, I remember when I saw Andre Dirrell versus Carl Froch, okay, and everybody was complaining that Carl Froch was throwing illegal shots at the back of the head, but the only thing available was the back of the head. Like, Andre Dirrell was ducking so low, which is also illegal. You're not supposed to duck below the waist of your opponent, right? That's a rule. That's actually a rule. And if your head's so low and that's all you're giving the guy, well, he's not just gonna wait for you to hit him, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's, if you leave something exposed, that's on you. Like, that's your fault. That's all I'm saying, right? So anyway, my point is, Tyson Fury made that part of the hit, a target, and I believe it was a legal target at that point. Plus, that back of the ear, I don't have a problem with punches landing there. Like, that's not really the back of the head still, right? Since our heads kind of curve, right? I mean, it's kind of debatable, but I would see it more as like a picture, like think of the mohawk. You know what I mean? Like on the back of the head, that portion, I think that's where that kind of like that delicate part of the head is, and see, that's what I think fighters should avoid, right? But like the back of the ear, and it's, yeah, it's borderline, but whatever. 114, 112, 123, 123 is how I scored it for Fury. Well, we'll pick a score. You scored it like two ways. I want to watch the fight, but I can't find upload on YouTube. I had Fury clear to winning the first time I watched it. Yeah. LeBron and Anthony Joshua are very similar. Oh, jeez. That was a joke. Murder's joke. As the first Rocky move was inspired by Ali Wepner. Yeah. How LeBron, how are they similar? I know, I have a feeling both are bitches, bitch mate, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. If Rabbit punched the guy, he must have his head up. I've been hit in the back of the head by tall guys and ducking. My fault. I had a 115, 113 Fury the first, third rounds even. Bomb squad all day. Can't wait to see the rematch. Yeah. And here's the thing, man. I mean, I think a rematch is going to be great. I personally can't wait for the rematch. I hope they do a rematch. So I want to see what's his name on the fucking mix too, man. Joshua. Where's Joshua at, man? It's crazy. I remember like 3 years ago, the only dude talking heavyweight boxing was Mr. Boxing Today. Okay, like everybody remember that? Like, only Mr. Boxing Today was talking boxing, right? And now everybody's excited, talking about the fight, and yeah, it's just gonna be a rematch, right? So that's that. Why in every Wilder fight, uploaders, medium fans always give the opponent the filling rounds? Well, I don't know. Is that a thing? Like, is that really happening? Like is there an agenda where everybody just gives, Wilder opponents the filling rounds? Like, is that really a thing? Or is it that, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. Or is it that Wilder just, I mean, I'm not saying he's terrible, but there's some limitations to his boxing ability. In the Washington fight, that was exposed. Right? You can't always say, oh, it's because they're doing better than expected. Well, was Fury, like, let me put it this way, right? Even people that had Wilder winning were almost unanimously saying that Fury was the better boxer and he was going to be out boxing Wilder before the knockdown happened. Knockout. Right? Even I said that in my prediction. After the fight, I'm hearing, right? And I actually saw this. Where was it where I saw it? Facebook. I forgot where I saw it, man. But I saw somebody say, oh, everybody just gave, since Fury did better than expected, they're giving him rounds that were close. Guys, everyone almost, I can't find one person saying, oh, maybe I missed it. Can somebody find the uploader that predicted that Wilder was going to outbox Fury and then knock him out? First of all, that's not even what happened, right? But that wasn't the unanimous consensus, okay? That wasn't, you could maybe make an argument like when Maidana was landing some jabs on Floyd, and you're like, oh, well, because nobody thought Maidana would win a round. Also, you can't say that about the public. The public doesn't even know these guys. All right? They're not even that popular. Like this idea that, oh, everybody was just thought that, everybody thought Wilder would knock him out. Nobody thought that Wilder would win a decision. Most people were saying that if it goes decision, Fury wins. So this idea that he did better than expected or whatever, it's just not, that narrative is not true. Right? As far as people giving rounds to Wilder's opponents, right? Let's say competitive rounds. When you're getting hit by jabs and you're missing wildly and you're getting countered and hit, the other guy's going to win the round. Like, what do you guys want? Like I'm just keeping it real. There is no like agenda here in terms of the way Wilder fights are scored. First of all, we can't even make a correct assessment on that because only 2 of his fights have gone to decision. And that's it. By definition, when guys are going the distance or going rounds with Wilder, because they're doing good in that fight. Because this guy has real power. If he hurts you, he's gonna take you out. But if he's not hurting you, you're outboxing him. In most cases. I'm just saying. As far as anybody saying Wilder's a joke, those people are stupid. Right? Look, I don't think I've used the term robbery. I don't think I've used that term. I'm just telling you guys I thought Fury won. All right. I agree that it's hard to use robbery here because there was 2 knockdowns, right? And in that case, even if Fury wins the majority of the rounds, 7, then that makes it a draw. And I understand that you can mathematically get there if you really want to. I get that. So I'm not using the term robbery here. Right? I'm just stating that I feel the wrong guy won. Right? As for people saying if the knockdowns never happen, it would have been, look, man, obviously we can't really say that. right? Because the knockdowns did happen, right? Later, Saplo type. They see Robert because they are fanboying again. So hopefully, all these top guys in these divisions, title holders, fight each other. I agree. I'm just a boxing fan, man. I just want to see these fuckers fight. Okay, that's all I want to see. And hope more of them just end by knockout, so we don't got to go through this bullshit. All right. It's the heavyweight division. Right. By the way, shout out to Stephen A. Smith who thinks he's smart because he said this is what he said. He goes, "Man, if Fury had power, like why do people do that? What's the point, right? Obviously, Fury doesn't have devastating power, so why even entertain that thought? What good does it do? That if Fury had power, he would have destroyed Wilder. Well, wait, like why even say that? Like what? Like you know what I mean? It's like people that say, "Man, if Wilder didn't have that power, he wouldn't be shit." Well, he does have that power. What do you mean? Like, what does that even mean? So if like fuck your ifs, right? We don't got time to make up alternative realities, right? People making up alternative realities and shit to discredit fighters. It's insane, right? Do you think Wilder would be willing to go to the UK and fight Fury? I hope he would. I don't see why he wouldn't, but probably to me, the WBC heavyweight belt is the most prestigious belt in the business. Fuck AJ and his shitty belts. Stephen A. Smith knows jack shit about combat sports, man. Boxing. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. There you go. Stephen A. Smith will convince himself that the Raiders are the best football team in the league. Man, bro, let me tell you, if the Raiders, okay, you could say anything. They had a different coach, bro. The Raiders had a different coach. Man, they'd be on their way to win a Super Bowl, right? Here's another one for you. Man, if Adrian Broner was, if he had discipline, like, man, okay. Anyway, with that said, by the way, thoughts and prayers to Stevenson, man. All right. Thoughts and prayers to him. I hope he recovers well. I know his condition has improved. It's a dire reminder that this game, the sport, I'm sorry, is not a game. It's really serious. Like this is some serious shit going on, right? And it's no joke. People die in the ring, like you know what I mean. Like it's or could die in the ring, right? I'm not saying everybody's dropping like flies, but I'm just saying fighters die in the ring. They could, and they sustain these type of injuries, and it's a brutal sport, boxing, right? It really is. So I hope he makes a recovery and not even thinking about boxing or anything like that right now. I just hope he makes a recovery, right? With that said, let's see what else I'm gonna hear. I'm gonna go ahead and let me see. Someone said I've seen Wilder fans say if this was a street fight, he would have won. Would he? I mean, I don't know. Like, if it was a street fight, everything else would be allowed, right? We don't know if he would have won. It was a street fight. Well, how do we know? What are Tyson Fury's MMA skills? I don't know. Okay, how's Wilder's ground game? I don't know. It's a dumb argument because, first of all, you can argue that the UFC champion can beat him in the street fight, right? Like, what does that even mean, right? It's not a street fight. So it's pointless to even entertain that, right? Man, this fight was bare knuckle. You don't know what happened. It was bare knuckle. With the way Wilder throws some of those punches, he might break his hand. It was bare knuckle. So you don't know. Right? You just don't know. The gloves help fighters a lot of times, not breaking your hands for not throwing punches properly. So this idea you don't know if he would have won a street fight, and I don't even know why I'm entertaining this, because it's a pointless point. The best one I saw was, you can't win a title fight coming off your back. Like, says who? Like, says who said that? Like, who said that? No, nobody's like, that's not a thing. You get knocked down, that's it. You can't possibly win. Like, why not? Of course you can. Of course you can. You get knocked down, you get off your back one time, you could win 7 rounds and you'll still win by a point. All right? Jesus. Fury would have got, oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, guys, I've given my thoughts on this, man, right? You know how I feel. You know how I feel about the decision. You know how I feel about the damn knockdown in the 12th. But I you know, at least people are talking about the heavyweight division. I'll tell you that. Okay. I told you guys, man. Remember, only Mr. Boxing Today was talking about boxing. Okay, fucking 4 years ago. All right. Well, it has a gold eagle. If you're gonna get popped hard, Jesus. Marcus got dropped 3 times and then a draw against Pacquiao. Yeah, because when you think about it, like, people, this is how people think, right? You know how they say you got to win 7 rounds, right? So what they start doing is this. They're like, well, you got to win 7 rounds to win. So if you get knocked down, you got to win 8. If you get knocked down again, you got to win 9. If you get knocked down again, you got to win 10. That's what people do. I don't know why people do that. That's not the way it works, right? Jesus. That's not how it works. You got to get 2 knockdowns, right, to overcome a round. 2. If a guy's beating you 7 rounds to 5, you got to get 2 knockdowns to get a draw, right? The third, guess what? If you had Marcus winning 8 rounds in that fight, he wins. Okay? I'm not sure. Now, nobody was questioning how we scored before, but if you want to change all that, that's a different story. All right? That said he had Wilder winning by a round or 2, but I'm cool with the draw. I didn't see it, bro. I didn't see Wilder winning by a round or 2. Do you mean by a point or 2 or a round or 2? There's a difference, right? And guys, I got to roll, man. I got to tick off here, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. This is D-Style, and I'm out. Peace.